All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Late Night Crypto Talk. Bitcoin Brandon from Los Angeles, California. Go ahead and type in the chat box where you're listening in from. And since we are on YouTube tonight, make sure you hit the thumbs up button on the YouTube channel. Good evening, Court Gomes. Bethany Gibbs from Seattle. Shayna from Richmond. Good evening, Court Gomes. Bethany Gibbs from Seattle. As a disclaimer, I'm not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I read the news, give my opinion, share suggestion, and it is up to you to make an informed, intelligent decision on which direction to move into. There's 4 rules I live by in the crypto space to have success. Rule number 1, education is key. Education is everything. Rule number 2, never invest money that you cannot afford to lose. Rule number 3, always get your return on investment back as fast as possible. And rule number 4, where do you see yourself in 3 months, 6 months, a year from now? What are you willing to do to make that happen? Make a decision, take action, find a vehicle, stay focused, and do not get distracted. Now, following these rules is not going to guarantee you success, but it will at least minimize your risk. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the most that we can ask for. I see Lorna Vasquez. Good evening. Dewan, you're right. It is back to where it was before. Robert Wood, the Logic Thinker, Dallas, Texas. What's up, B? Rohan Johnson, ATL. All right. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. It's been a wild market the last week. Even though the Bitcoin price has gone up, gone down, gone sideways, gone way high. So where are we at? Well, the market cap is at 327 billion. So it's down almost 20 billion since 24 hours ago or so. 11% down over the last 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance has also dropped to 62.1%. So Bitcoin definitely took a hit. At its all-time high this year was almost $14,000. Let's see. Best performers over the past 24 hours. XMAX with 124% gain, 1,005% gain over the last 7 days. Pump and dump. That's a pump and dump right there. Let's see how long it takes before the thing crashes. Digits down 12.1%. Not too well. Digits down seems to be the biggest winner there. It's a ranked 100 coin. Worst performers. Dent 18.6%. Oh my's go. Hypercash, GX Chain, Bitcoin Cash, Baitum, Ethereum, all of the top coins, double digit. Bitcoin 11.2. Look at these. All of them double digit red. But the last hour has seemed to have turned around a little bit. Let me go back to the beginning. It's on the rise now. You got the last hour, 2.3 for Bitcoin, Ethereum 1.5%. Yeah, it's a little bit bounced like a basketball right now. Let's look at Poloniex. See what the live chart is telling us. Okay. Ooh, this is interesting. Bounce, 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 bounce. Came up a bit, bounce way down, came up, down. Now we're seeing a little bit of a rise. Just a little bit. Let's see if it can get back to this $12,000 mark. And then everybody wants it to get back to this. That was last night, or actually 24 hours ago, about where it was up there. The high was 13,300 24 hours ago. The low was 10,531. Negative 12.41% change. I saved myself some money today because I moved to Tether when I saw this thing dropping. Okay. What is the bot doing? Anything major on the buy orders? There it is. $192,000. Buy order at 11,042. Okay, that's 140 points below right now. And let's see, what's the sell order? Someone asked me, why do I look at the buy order before I look at the sell order? I always want to know what the bottom is first before I want to know what the high is. That's just the way I think. Where is the sell order? Okay, if I can't find this bot, then it looks like we're going to be in for a nice rebound. So far, I only see a sell order for 1.2 Bitcoin, 1.7 Bitcoin. Let me load up more. Buried it. There it is. $11,747. Sell 11,700, really? We're at 11,740. Okay, well, that's a good profit if it 11,700, if it's going to get close. Right around here. So that's a good profit from where it's at. And one more to look at. Rohan says that my audio is in and out. How about you guys? Oh, that's because I'm on YouTube. That's right. I forgot I have to actually call. Give me a second here. YouTube audio is different than Facebook audio. All right, you should be able to hear me much better now. I forget when I do Facebook, the audio is better when I use computer audio. When I do YouTube, the audio is better when I actually call in. All right, so let's see this last. Whoa, look at this. I don't see this every day. Wow, that buy wall is stacked at 11,000. And if it gets below that, it's stacked again, 10,400. And then 9,000. I still believe we're going to have a correction that's going to go at least down to about $7,000. That's just what I think. But as of right now, this volume is heavy. And then this is small. These sell orders can get gobbled up real quick. 11,700, 12,000, and then this sucker's going to slide. Oh, man. We're in for another run coming up. 14,000 all the way to 15,000. I would not be surprised if within the next 48 hours, this thing goes back to $15,000. I won't be surprised. We'll see. Just based off looking at this graph, the buy orders are creeping up on them. Wow. And then there is no, it's not even, it's off the chart to see where the next barrier is. This thing could just run. And here's what happens when you see something flat like this and it starts to run. This is what creates the fear of people, because in one day it'll go from 11,800. Then all of a sudden, next thing you know, it's almost at $13,000, and people are going to think they're missing out. Hennessy, you say you called 10,300. Yeah, the low was what, 10,500, and now it's bouncing back, and it's pretty strong. This was a good, nice rise. People sold, got a profit, but then it started to rise again. So just based on this chart, it's not I'm not predicting anything. I'm just going based off this chart. I wouldn't be surprised to see this run up to 14, 15K in the next 48 hours, because this is strong right here. All right, let's get into some news. First up, Forbes. Anytime mainstream media wants to talk about crypto, we pay attention. So Forbes, and they're still using the word bubble. So they say the Bitcoin bubble is on. I think it's Iran and the US-China trade war. Others think it's the impact of the Facebook Face Bank move with their Libra project. We could both be right. I agree with that. Whatever the reason, the rise is escalating and moving to levels I've predicted, but at a faster pace than I was expecting. I agree with that as well. I didn't think this was going to happen until 2020. But what has me pumping my brakes is
the altcoins did not rise with Bitcoin. They had a little bit of bump, and I'm going to prove it. I like to back up what I say. This unknown territory. Let's click on all-time high. All-time high. So, for example, when Bitcoin was at $19,665, Ethereum was at $1,400, Ripple $3.40, Bitcoin Cash $3,700, Litecoin $360, EOS $22, Binance, well, Binance is kind of the same. Bitcoin SV didn't exist. Cardano $1.18. Cardano was $1.18. Just think about that for a second. It's 8 cents right now. Now, Tron was 23 cents. It's 3 cents right now. Here's another number to look at. Right now, Bitcoin is down 40% from its all-time high. But look at the other altcoins. Ethereum, 79%. Ripple, 87%. Bitcoin Cash, 88.9%. Litecoin, 67%. EOS, 73%. Cardano, 92%. Tron, 85%. Stellar, 87%. Monero, 81%. Dash, 89%. I rest my case. These coins should at least be proportionate to Bitcoin. At least. Not this high. So this has been a Bitcoin flash bull run, not a crypto market bull run. The other coins only went up a little bit because the rising tide. And that was just a little bit. They all had gains, but not like Bitcoin has over the last, 2 weeks? So that's why I'm reluctant to call this a crypto-wide bull run. I got to see this Bitcoin dominance get down to below 50% for me to call it a complete market-wide. Now, let me go back to Forbes. So today's move hits levels where I'm expecting a pause and some period of sideways trading, but the market won't listen to me. If this pace keeps up, we are going to hit the bubble phase ahead of time, which means we might be in for an early correction too. This will be great for traders because volatility is their fuel, but it is not so good for investors who hate a crazy ride. Well, investors that's in it for the short term. The real investors are not looking at the day-to-day price of Bitcoin. They're looking 3 years from now, 5 years from now. I am expecting new highs in the low 20Ks, but I prefer them to be in the months ahead, not in a few days' time, and only for an hour or two. I agree with that as well. The technical set, who wrote this article? This is from Forbes. Clem Chambers, he's a contributor, okay? So far, I agree with him. I don't normally agree with mainstream media guys. So it says, the technical setup looks tremendous. You can judge a parabolic move by the scale of its base, and the current base makes for a breathtaking projection. I won't even bother drawing it. It's just too wild. If this is the ride we are going on over the next days, set your exit price, or if you plan to hold, I can never say hodl. If you plan to hold for years, best look away. The thing is, the move is not driven by FOMO, fear of missing out, like last time. There are no hordes of ingenues wanting in. This move is driven by crypto's use cases and the potential adoption of a crypto by the mainstream via Facebook's move. I agree so far. I am expecting a pause here, as per my previous article a few days ago, but this kind of commodity price spike starts to look like the vertical is developing. The drivers of this move are emergent, and we are mid-stage of a consequent repricing that might not take a rest. The drivers of this move are not going to subside anytime soon, and will even increase rather than lessen. Now, a cautionary. Companies short of BTC are going to be in desperate trouble right now, and these might include some of the more sketchy exchanges. who might have turned their platforms into the equivalent of crypto fractional reserve banks. Yeah, for people that wants to hold all their coins in there. An exchange can issue you a phony BTC on their exchange because balances are accounting numbers, not coins and wallets. So you can add your Litecoin or Dogecoin to a wallet in an exchange and sell it for BTC, and your on-screen balance of Bitcoin goes up, but there is no BTC to cover it. See, that's one thing. I never do, this is just me personally, I never do coin-to-coin trade. Like, yeah, I always have it on set on USDT. I never do BTC to Ethereum, or Ethereum to EOS, or BTC to Dash. The only time I do that is if I need to buy a coin and I got some Bitcoin there, and I always do it from Exodus wallet. I never do it on an exchange, and I just buy the other coin with the Bitcoin I have, but not for trading. So, and I know I was listening to a guy last year who's made a fortune off of trading that way, almost like Forex, because most people don't. And he's doing coins that nobody's really heard of, but his face is in front of that screen 23 hours out of 24 hours a day. You know, that's not my lifestyle I want to have. But this is interesting. If you do the exchange has got to record it, but do they actually have the Bitcoin to honor it? And you will only find this out when you try to withdraw. Oh, wow. Shady participants are the Achilles heel of crypto, so you have to be on your toes. Because of this heightened risk, you need to be very careful if you are trading on margin. I am pretty sure that some participants are trying to stop loss drive their clients out of their positions and steal their money. This looks like a recent example from June 25th, 2019. Okay. Wow, look at that drop. While it might be a very rich idiot dumping their money carelessly, it is more likely a stop drive. If you have an automatic stop loss, this sort of move can be manipulated to pour your money into the platform holder's account. Such a villainous exchange simple knows where the stops are, works out what they need to sell onto the bid, puts their orders in low on the bid book. They then dump on the bid and trigger stop loss sales, which pour into their orders. They have sold high and bought low and seen the price snap back. Wow. Talk about manipulation, but they're saying it is the exchanges themselves doing the manipulating. I'm going to show you what I mean by this in a little layman's terms. This is moving 11,600. So you've got here, when you're placing your orders, a stop limit. So that is, let's just say you've got your sale orders of things in, or you don't, and you walk away from your computer, things start to bleed, and you want the system to automatically shut it off for you. So you put in your stop loss right here, your stop limit. What the exchange will do is able to see everybody's stop limit and then work against that, undercut them, kind of the same way I do. When I look at this exchange and I look at the bot, and I see the bot has a buy order at, let's scroll down, 11,400. Oh, wow, it just changed like that. 11,505. They've got a buy order, right? I would put my buy order in at 11,520, somewhere around there, or even 11,525 is my buy order. And then I'll look at what the bot has as a sell order. So let's say like this is not a bot, but somebody's moving $100,000 worth, wants to sell at 11,800. I would put my sell order at probably 11,785 or 11,790. So I'm undercutting them. So what they're saying is the exchange pulling something like that to kind of cheat the system. So there are several things a trader needs to do in this volatile environment. Lower their leverage and keep their stops mental and away from round numbers and the platform's awareness. In other words, I wouldn't even use a stop loss. I would just use the buy and sell and put my numbers in where I want it to be, and leave it at that. And I would never, do it exactly, because I personally think that bot is controlled by Poloniex themselves. It has been consistent. When I spotted it, when did I spot this? November last year, when I really was starting to look at that. And it's been consistent. So I think it's controlled by Poloniex to try to kind of control the movement, because they know people are following the whales. Smart people are. All right. Let's see. In crypto, security hygiene is a must. Rather than sweat the wild gyrations in Bitcoin's price, now is the time to sweat about the security of your crypto. Okay, next up. Interesting from Forbes. This is unbelievable. CoinGeek, you got Craig Wright in Colombia, and they are recognizing him as Satoshi Nakamoto. Really? Creator of I don't know, where's CoinGeek based out of? But listen to how this is written here. The creator of Bitcoin, an esteemed academic, Dr. Craig Wright, has been presented with an official proclamation by the Council of Bogota, recognizing him as the true Satoshi Nakamoto. The proclamation confirms Dr. Wright's identity as the original creator of the Bitcoin white paper, published under the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto, which ultimately launched Bitcoin, the forerunner to Bitcoin SV. Here's one thing as well. You never listen to what people say, follow what they do. If you follow the personality of Craig Wright for the past 10 years, everything he's done is ego-driven. It's all about him. Is it possible for somebody that is ego-driven, it's all about him, to create something as big as Bitcoin and put a pseudonym on it? I would think he'd want to claim all the credit from day one. I'm just saying, I've got a minor in psychology. Anyways, the proclamation was presented to Dr. Wright during a visit to the Colombian capital, where he addressed delegates on the benefits of Bitcoin SV as the true vision of what Bitcoin should be. Why? He said traveling is hazardous, right? That's how come he can't make it to America. What is that court? I think it's in Florida. He can't make it to Florida, but he can make it to Colombia. Arguing that cryptocurrencies like SegWit coin, which is BTC, have abandoned the principles in his original white paper, Dr. Wright said it was important to spread the word about Bitcoin SV in parts of the world that have the most to gain from increased transparency. He noted, it's really important that we talk to the people who need this most. People in the West don't need Bitcoin as much as people in countries that are developing at the moment. That's true. I agree with that statement. In the West, there are already strong controls around government. We can make it efficient everywhere, but it's most important in places like third world countries or developing countries, South America, Africa, India, because that's where they're going to get the biggest benefit. I actually agree with that statement. That is true. Elaborating on his aims with Bitcoin SV, Dr. Wright said the mission was to build a system that would work with government to increase political and financial accountability on all levels of government. False. Nowhere in the white paper does it say that. In fact, it's saying the opposite. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You want to find out, is he Satoshi Nakamoto? Did he write the white paper? Everything he's saying now, it's supposed to work with the government to increase financial accountability of the government. No, it's not. It specifically talks about the need to have an independent system because the governments have let us down. Now, I do agree that it can work side by side, but it is not designed to have any type of control from the government. We're not going to build a system to destroy the government. It wasn't, never said it was supposed to destroy the government. It's to give an alternative for the people. We're going to build a system to make government honest so that people can vote and know who they are voting for so that no one can change an election result. So he's talking about the blockchain. Okay, I agree with this part. So that no one can change an election result, so that no one can ever fudge results. So that is that there is an immutable trail that the world can see, he said in his speech. That part is true. Anonymity was another area in which Dr. Rice said BTC had lost its way, arguing this only benefits those with corrupt motivations. False. Because if that's the case, then he would have never called himself Satoshi Nakamoto and he would have came out with his own name. He just shot himself in the foot. If what you're saying is true, then you're telling us you had corrupt motivations by being anonymous about who you really are. You should have started from the gate calling yourself Dr. Craig Wright. But the fact that you didn't, the fact that you use anonymity, which is the whole point of it, are you saying that you had corrupt motivations? I can agree with that. You do have corrupt motivations. Anonymity only helps the corrupt at the end of the day. When people argue that it's about freedom for everyone, it's not, he explained. Banks who enable money laundering, banks who enable terrorism, all of those thrive in a system where there's anonymous transfers. Surrounded by crowds of fans in Bogota, as he received the award, Dr. Rice said he was overwhelmed by the welcome from the Council of Bogota. All I see is him trying to find himself a safe haven. So when things get hard, he's got a place to run to, just like the Nazis did. What country did they run to? Was it Brazil or Colombia? Got a huge German population. Alongside other BSV supporters and thought leaders, Dr. Wright is continuing to educate audiences worldwide on the benefits of a fast, low-cost, scalable cryptocurrency delivered by Bitcoin SV. I don't know what to say about that. Come to Florida, like the court has summoned you to do, to prove that you're Satoshi Nakamoto. That's all you got to do. No video conference, show up. He's just trying to get an extra $5 billion, but he's got a lot of money behind him. He's got a lot of power. And in my eyes, Dr. Craig Wright is the biggest threat to Bitcoin. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is all the news for this evening. Let us again take a look at the market, because I see it's rising as I speak. 11,700. A turnaround is taking place. You see this? Asia is up right now, which is why you see this turnaround. Asia woke up. Europe should be awake in 4 hours from now. I think somewhere around there. Europe should be waking up. And we'll see if they piggyback off of what Asia does and keeps it rising. And then America always follows suit by reacting to the market. But looking at this chart, this really has me freaked out. Not in a bad way or anything. It's just that I know something's about to pop. But as volatile as this is, it can change quickly. Come on, scroll down. There we go. Back up. This little small mountain is sliding with no resistance until you reach $14,000. No resistance. If it can pop 12,000, it's going to run. And this buy wall is strong. This is a huge volume sitting at the $11,000 mark. And then below that, what is this? Come on, computer. 10,500. I still think it's going to drop to 7,000 eventually, at least. But it ain't going to happen anytime soon right now. So even if this does correct, it's got a strong wall sitting on top of it to bounce back. Anyways, I hope you guys learned something new. As always, that is the point. I will share something. This is cool. I don't know why I didn't do this all week. Economicsstore.com. Take a look at our swag. I got to show this off. Those of you that were in Tampa saw this. We got our economics gear and apparel. You got to get me the hat, the backpack, our banners, marketing tools, branded gear, shirts. Ladies, we got shirts for the ladies. Business cards, table throws. Oh, and car decals, vehicle magnet, vehicle window decal. So you wanted to get your hands on some economics swag, just go to economicsstore.com. And that is with the MX, not MIX. Well, let me just post the link for you. Be the first to get the gear. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will be, tomorrow's Friday, so I'll be back tomorrow morning for early morning crypto talk. There will not be a late night crypto talk. It is Friday night. I'll go get my Wingstop. And we are getting into 4th of July weekend coming up, or next week's 4th of July is on a Thursday. So actually the following weekend will be tight for people. So I should be still doing stuff this weekend. Got a lot of work to do. Anyways, you guys have a great evening. God bless. Bitcoin Brandon out. Bye-bye.